Hello guys, hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new trading week. A very important week because in 2 days, on the 7th of May, we have the interest rate decision for the US. So that is gonna move the markets a lot. We will talk about that in a minute. We will see that in detail, how that can affect us. So please pay attention to this important data, and let's start. Let's kick off the week. So first of all, as usual, remember that, as the disclaimer says, that this is not financial advice. This is just my personal opinion. Everything that I mention here is mainly for educational purposes. Please do make your own research, and let's go. Let's start. So I have here the weekly chart of the S&P 500. This is the CFD chart. So we're already seeing the new week here with the Asian data and European data, because the American market hasn't started yet. So we can see here that we had a strong week. Last week was a very bullish week, and I think it was fueled by first the momentum that we had. Look at the previous week that we had here, upside momentum. Then this week, last week, continue the upside momentum, plus that big companies delivered the first quarter results, and they were positive. For instance, Microsoft, you can see Microsoft, how the results of Microsoft were amazing. So here this jump is due to these good results. Other technology companies also gave the results, and this gave them a good week, a good results for the stocks. This helped the markets up on the three indices, on the US 30, also on the US 500, and on the US and the Nasdaq. However, we are seeing this the beginning of the week. Here, this is the new week. We are seeing a red week. We are starting with a red week. I draw here a trend line for you guys. You can see this. We at the moment we are respecting this trend line. We can go on a smaller time frame, for instance, the daily time frame, and then I put this trend line from here to the peak of last week, and then see how are we coming down here. So this signals that this week might be a weaker week. However, remember that, as I said at the beginning, that we have the interest rate decision, the US interest rate decision, and that is going to move the markets at least on this week, and then we will define the path that we are going to follow. So, for instance, here another reason to think that we are seeing an exhaustion of this upward movement is if we draw here a Fibonacci retracement from top to bottom. Here we can see that we already touched and passed the 0.618 level. So that's why we are now coming, sorry guys, down. That's why we are now coming down to retouch this level, and we might stay around here until the Fed rate decision is made. So, and from here we can continue jumping up to this level or go down to this other key level. So remember that we already reclaimed this level, so we are already here above this level, and we are now currently in this range. So normally markets, that's the way they behave. So we come back to retest this level. So you can see here that we came almost to retest this level, and now we will decide and if we stay here or we jump up. So that is a move that we will see because of the interest rate decision. So probably we will pass this trend line and come back to retest it and continue up, or pass the trend line and then come back to this other line. So if the things are really bad, then we can see an ABC move, as some of you guys know the Elliott wave theory. So probably we're seeing an A, B, and then C correction that will take us to lower levels. So that would be the worst case, that we see an ABC correction. That is possible, but let's go step by step. So first we have to see what happens this week if we come respecting this trend line and we start to go down here and we stay in this range, or if we completely from here we just don't go to don't pass this trend line and we completely crash from here, or if we recover this trend line, we ignore this trend line and we just we go to touch this level, which is an important level, because here look how this was an important support, now is becoming an important resistance. So we have to see what happens this week. But at the moment it looks like we are respecting this trend line, and it looks like a lot of people are opening short positions from here. So you can see the same with the US 30. The US 30 already came, as you can see here. Well, this is a very common pattern, the famous M pattern. No, you can see here that we draw an M here. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have an M here, and then the markets, they normally come to retest this this peak of this middle peak of the M. So you can see here that on the US 30 we already came to retest this level. Well, barely, right here this is almost touched. So we came already to retest this level. So now it is a very crucial point that we are respecting at the moment this trend line. So we will have to see if from here we go down, or if we manage to break this trend line and we go up. So we have to see, and that will depend on the Federal rates decision, and the results that are still going to come for other companies this week. The US 2000 is having a similar situation. Here the US 2000, you know that it behaves a little bit different than the other bigger indices, because these are small caps. It has more volatility. So here we crash more than the other indices. We were for a long time in this lower range before, and now, well, it's recovered this support level, but we have to see if we don't go back to this range that we were already here in during 2022-2023. For the US tech, we see that the US tech is almost, as I said, the M pattern is also touching this resistance line. We are following now at the moment this trend line. We are also being rejected from this trend line. It's a normal rejection at the moment because of the big upside that we had, but remember that this is just temporary, because the direction we will know after the interest rate decision. So here, well, as I mentioned last week, well, the interest rate decision, what affects the most, obviously, is the dollar index, right? Check where the dollar index is sitting at the moment. The dollar index is since we are approaching the decision day, it is just sitting on this support resistance level. So it is undecided, so it can basculate to the upside or to the downside, so depending on what the decision is. It would be like betting, if you try to guess where is it gonna go, if they are gonna keep the interest rate as they are, or if they are gonna lower the interest rates, or if they are gonna increase the interest rate. That would be betting. So in my opinion, and remember this is just my opinion, it is better to wait and see what they do, and then see if we go up or if we go down, because this is what it is gonna move the market. So if the dollar continues weakening, we will see probably an increase on the other assets like gold, for instance. We can probably see an increase on Bitcoin, and some stocks can also have a good momentum to the upside. However, if the dollar is strong and the dollar starts to recover this range, if the dollar starts to come here to this range, to touch these levels, then we will see probably a weakening on the risk assets like Bitcoin, weakening on gold, and weakening on some stocks, because money will move from these assets to the dollar. The people will reinvest and will start rebuying US dollars, but we have to see. Okay, so let's go. Well, let's check gold. Gold, as we checked. As I said last week, at the beginning of last week, we had this important support line that we broke to the downside, and then we had this, we touched this trend line that at the moment we are respecting. We can go in for the detail here. Probably let's go to the 2-hour charts and see it in more detail. So we were here at the beginning of last week. We were somewhere here, and then we came down. We broke this support level, and then we went down. We didn't touch this other support line. We stopped here at these levels, and from here we are now respecting this trend line. So look at now the gold is recovering this level, and it is also waiting to see what's the dollar going to do. Of course, the Euro USD is doing the same. Here we had a false breakup, and then we came down again. But we are, in general, we are following this trend line. So at the moment, also Euro USD is waiting to see what happens. If the dollar is gonna look stronger, then it's very likely that the euro is gonna come down to this other key level. On the other hand, if the dollar continues weakening, well, we will continue with this trend line to the upside. So we will have a stronger euro. So this is what is gonna affect the most directly the dollar index. But remember that it will also affect the other assets like Bitcoin and stocks. So let's go quickly to Bitcoin. So what do we have for Bitcoin? Well, we have here, let's go to a bigger time frame to see in a better perspective. So here we have the daily chart Bitcoin. Well, we had this crash to the downside. We can draw a Fibonacci line now, and remember I said last week that Bitcoin is following the Nasdaq at the moment, right? So it is if the Nasdaq is going up, then Bitcoin is going up, and vice versa. So here we have exactly the same case where we want to touch and even pass the 0.618 level. Then we came down during the weekend, and now we are here playing around this level, which is a very important level in Fibonacci theory. And well, we are waiting for the US rate decision to see what happens, to see if we come down to this level, to retest these levels. Look at this, is a big gap that we have here. We might even come down to test this 0.382 level of the Fibonacci and fill in this gap. So we might come even here. Look, this support, this resistance level that might become support now. So we might come here and from here continue up, or from here go down to the next level. So this would be the bearish scenario, sorry. And the bullish scenario would be that we recover this trend line, this trend line that we are following at the moment, this downward trend line. It might be possible that we recover this trend line, and then we completely jump to higher levels, so we surpass again the 100,000 level. So this is at the moment uncertain. We don't know what is going to happen. There is risk, potential risk to the downside due to the tariffs, that uncertainty, due to the dollar uncertainty. So there's still potential risk to the downside, but it can also be that the investors continue to have a positive attitude due to strong results on the markets, on the companies that are still giving positive results, as we saw last week, and then we can see that the market can still continue up and retest these all-time high levels. Ethereum is also, well, we know that Ethereum was looking weaker, so we know that Ethereum had a bigger crash than Bitcoin. It looks like people decided that Bitcoin is, during these uncertain times, is going to be the asset of choice. So Ethereum had a weaker performance, and now it's trying to regain this range. As I said previously, well, we have again here, we can see clearly the M pattern that I said. So is here, this is a big M pattern that we have here. So the at the moment is trying to retest this neckline again, Ethereum, and we'll see if we retest this neckline, and from here if we continue up or if we go down. So it is very important to wait and see what happens. I mean, if you are an experienced trader, it doesn't mean you cannot do scalping during the day on a daily basis. But if you are more like a swing trader, long-term trader, probably it is wiser to wait and see what happens after the Fed rate decision. So, but remember, this is my own opinion, and you have your personal views as well, and you have to do your own research. Finally, well, we can check, as I said, some stocks. We have here that Apple still looking bearish, even though it had positive results. We can see here that it had positive results, but still didn't manage to break this trend line and didn't go to this key level. So it was rejected here, and then from here we see that it is going down again. So it's still danger. It is probably affected by the tariffs. So that's why it's looking weaker. Amazon, or the same story. Amazon try to recover this key level, and is looking that at the moment we are not passing this key level. So we have to see if they manage to do that, or if the investors are just using this upside, the previous week upside momentum, as an escape possibility, as an escape, liquidity escape opportunity, because since probably they were already suffering some losses, probably they, with these movements that we had last week, probably they were on break even or positive, and now they are exiting with their positions now, and they are probably opening short positions. So we have to see if that is the case, and that will then, in that case, we will have the markets coming down. So we see here similar behavior on most of the stocks. So we have seen that they came down, then we had a temporary rally, and now they are coming down again. So here we have Meta, for instance. Meta delivered good results, managed to break this key level. So let's see if Meta stays above this key level and continues going up, or let's see if we came again to these lower levels. Microsoft, as I said, Microsoft had excellent results and then jumped completely from this range to this range. Was an amazing jump. But now look at the gap that we have here. So it is very likely that Microsoft will come and fill in this gap. And let's see what happens at least to this level, and let's see what happens around this level if we continue going down or if we regain this level and go up again. So we have to see how is this week going to be. Netflix is one of the big players. So Netflix is having super results. Netflix is one of the only companies that is printing new all-time highs. And we can see here that it passed the 1,150 mark. So, but it is looking that now is overextended, is overbought, and then we probably see a retracement to touch this level. Nvidia, well, is the same as the other companies that we saw at the beginning. So it's having a trend line, respecting this trend line, already touched the neck of the M pattern. So it's seeing a strong rejection from here. Let's see if it doesn't crash again to make a new downward leg, or if it manages at the end to recover this level and continues up. Tesla, well, Tesla, we saw Tesla that it is it's been very volatile in the previous weeks. So because it is trying to recover these levels, but then came down. So he tried to recover it, came down again, come up again. So at the moment it is very undecided what's going to happen with Tesla. I put here two trend lines. For instance, this is a long-term trend line that is following to the upside, that it is very likely that will respect if it crashes, even though if it crashes it might crash to these levels and then respect this trend line. That is a likely case. But in the short term, we have this other trend line that it is very aggressive trend line, and we'll see if it respects or not this trend line. So I think this is all for this video. Otherwise, we can extend longer if we continue analyzing the markets, but let's make it not too long. I know that it's already long, guys, and I know that you might get bored, but I hope this is not so boring, and I hope you get something educational and constructive from this video. Please let me know your comments. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and let me know in your comments if you agree with this or if you disagree, and what are your takes on the market for this week. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one.